Joe Biden has messed up Afghanistan so much, so badly, that I am again going to revisit issues with his brain, which we can all see. This should have been discussed more fully during the campaign. You know, he had brain surgery back in the late 1980s, multiple brain surgeries, and the surgeons, they have a saying, when the air hits your brain, you're never the same. That could explain some of Joe's difficulties. More on that in a bit, but it is a full-blown disaster over there. The situation is so bad over there. Look at this. Some Afghan families are putting their children over the barbed wire, hoping that they'll have a life away from the Taliban. So, with this unfolding, you would think that the few public appearances Joe has, this would have to be what he's talking about. Yesterday was all COVID, and look at how he just walked off.
As the United States of America, we'll get this done. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Leadership, experience, just walking out the door. So he can't handle questions on this topic in a dynamic environment like that. So they tried to make it nice for Joe, a one-on-one interview with well-known Democrat journalist George Stephanopoulos. Let's take a look.
You don't think this could have been handled, this actually could have been handled better in any way? No mistakes?
No, I don't think it could have been handled in a way that we're going to go back in hindsight and look, but the idea that somehow there's a way to have gotten out without chaos ensuing, I don't know how that happens.
He doesn't know how it happens. It had to be chaotic. He's contradicting himself left and right. How about getting the civilians out first, taking care of the weapons, and then the military comes out? He's doing it backwards. Everybody can see it. But in this interview, he seems to be making it up as he goes along.
Your top military advisors warned against withdrawing on this timeline. They wanted you to keep about 2,500 troops.
No, they didn't. It was split. That wasn't true. That wasn't true.
They didn't tell you that they wanted troops to stay?
No, not in terms of whether we were going to get out in a time frame, all troops. They didn't argue against that.
So no one told, your military advisors did not tell you, no, we should just keep 2,500 troops. It's been a stable situation for the last several years. We can do that. We can continue to do that.
No, no one said that to me that I can recall.
Ooh, that I can recall. There's a career politician talking. And Joe blew his top a little bit. He got really annoyed at pretty basic, straightforward questions.
We've all seen the pictures. We've seen those hundreds of people packed into a C-17. We've seen Afghans falling.
That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
What did you think when you first saw those pictures?
What I thought was we have to gain control of this. We have to move this more quickly. We have to move in a way in which we can take control of that airport. And we did.
No, you haven't. And 4 days ago, 5 days ago, actually it was 2 days ago, but we're going to remember those images for the rest of our lives, Joe Biden, for the rest of our lives. I know your memory isn't so hot, but even you, Joe, might remember some of this. And that brings me back to you and your memory and your cognitive abilities. Yes, Joe Biden underwent 2 major brain surgeries back in 1988. He had aneurysms. They had to cut open his skull and go inside. And it's true. Brain surgeons have said that if the air hits your brain, you are never the same. Is that why Joe is such an unusual person these days? I mean, we've all seen Joe touching and groping and smelling and doing all kinds of things he should not be doing. Is that because he's, I don't know, getting up there in age? There's something called frontal disinhibition. I mean, who walks around and does this to anybody? Women, people. I mean, it's pretty odd, you got to admit. And his personality, he was supposed to be kind, gentle, much better than a kinder, gentler, empathetic guy. Not like Trump, right? Not like him.
You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying, dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but you're...
Why wasn't his apology enough, Mr. Vice President? Why attack Sanders?
Wait. Take your AR-14s and what?
Okay, this is not okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Hey, let's get
There's a lot of guys.
Calling people names, threatening them. He has issues. And I believe those issues have led to very poor decisions about Afghanistan. And we will be living with the legacy of this calamity for a long, long time to come. Now, why did we know more about Joe Biden's issues before all of this? I mean, I knew about it. Select few in the media talked about it during the campaign, but mostly not too much. They feasted on Donald Trump. But the political press, they say they exist so they can vet these people for us, to apply pressure, to pressure test candidates to see how they perform at the presidential level. The thing is, they never really did that for Joe Biden. They backed off big time when COVID started. And then Joe Biden literally became untouchable. And of course, they had to do anything to get Donald Trump out. So it was hands-off coverage. And what are we left with? A guy who can't handle the job. And now babies are subject to this overseas in Afghanistan, being thrown over a fence. Joe Biden bears a lot of responsibility, but so do his supporters in the media. We'll be right back.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.